Hi guys, Football-ManagerYouthDevelopment.co.uk here. I'm back for a special video today. In this particular episode, we're going to be having a look at how to win on Football Manager. Now, as you can imagine, it's not a particularly easy thing. You may think it's just a case of having like the best players, and just coming up with a tactic and just hopefully all will be good and you'll just start winning matches. If there's anybody out there who's sort of struggling with winning games, or if you think you should probably be winning more games, what I'm going to be looking to do in this episode is just talk you through the type of things that I look to do just to help me win as many games as possible. Now, there's not a like a formula where you're going to win every single game and things like that, but there's certain things that you can do just to ensure that you are winning a lot more games than you think you probably should be, and things like that. So, okay, what I always do when I'm looking at winning games, obviously some of these things might seem a little bit simple, and other things will hopefully help out some people. So, yeah, just bear with me. So, okay, so obviously what you're going to be wanting to do is play the players with the best ability in your team. Now, you may be looking at this team here that I've got. This is obviously a playthrough file that I've been doing recently. You may see here that, say, a player like Brian Ruiz, he's a player with really high potential in the squad. Now, a good thing to look at to help you win a lot more games is the actual form of the player. Now, I tend to not play any players if they're out of form, regardless of how good they are. So if a player's on, say, bad form like Brian Ruiz, what I'll look to do is just make him available for the reserve team. So you'll see here that I've got him available for the, well, in this particular case it's the B team, and I've got him available for 60 minutes. So throughout this whole season he has been injured a little while, but the idea is to help him improve his form. He'll play games at kind of a lower level and just to get his form back. Now, if he was to get his form back, then he'd basically come back into the team, and that would improve him a lot, basically. So, say like a guy like Tim Matavas, he's not actually playing that well at all. So, he's one of the kind of key players in the squads. And if I just show you the amount of strikers that I've got at the club, if you're left with absolutely no option at all but to kind of play somebody, now this is exactly what I would do to help improve the situation and to try and improve the form of this particular player. So he's obviously one of the better better ability players, and he has done quite well for us this season. So 11 goals in 21 starts, so he has been doing quite well. However, because his morale is quite poor at the moment, what you need to be doing is looking to improve his morale as much as possible. So what I'll be doing with this guy, I'll be going into private chat, and then I'll be going to performance, and I've done it recently, but if you criticise recent form, what you get the option to do is basically say that you have faith in the player and that he can improve. I recommend doing this quite a few times because that can improve his morale. Obviously, the higher that a player's morale is, then the better they're likely to perform, and obviously as a result of that, their form will improve, and yeah, the kind of ability that they're shown on the pitch will be a lot better, and they're more likely to score, play better, things like that if their morale's higher. Now you can see with this particular guy, so he's concerned about the lack of goals. And he feels that it's affecting his confidence. So that's why we know this guy's confidence is quite low. So what I have done recently, I did tell him that I've got faith that he can score more goals. And I had obviously hopes that that would increase his morale, but it's not particularly happened. So to help me kind of win at the moment, what I'd be looking to do is having a look at some of the other players in my squad who have got pretty good form at the moment. Now this guy here, he's got quite low match fitness, but this guy, because he's been playing sort of a little bit better than the other guy, I'd be putting him straight in the team and just giving him a chance just to show me what he can do. Now, this guy's had 10 starts and 8 substitute appearances. Now, he's not done particularly well, but he's a young player, and his form's not been absolutely brilliant recently at all. So what I would obviously be looking to do in the next game, I'm going to be swapping these two guys over, just giving DP a chance in the first team, just sort of see how he gets on. And that's a really good way to just help you improve your form. So when you're looking to select your team, just make sure you're picking players that are on good form. Obviously you may feel quite loyal to certain players, or you may feel that you want to just stick to certain players who have got good ability, but you'll be very surprised that players, if their form's really good, then you'll be actually really surprised at how they'll perform. Now this guy here, he's a very good example. So this guy here, he's 19 years old. His stats are like nothing special at all. Obviously he's got really good potential ability, but he's only 2-star ability. Now if we have a look at the other players I've got in that same position as in the right back position, you can see I've recently brought this guy in, and I had got Santiago as well. Now both these players are obviously a lot better than this guy here, but you can see here this guy's had 11 starts and his average rating's just as good as the guy who's meant to be supposedly better than him. Now that's all due to just his form basically. Now this guy, I try and pick him as much as possible. I mean at the moment all my right backs are actually on really good form, so I'm just tending to pick the one who's got the best ability. And obviously I'm having a look at condition and things like that. But there has been times where this guy's form like really dropped off. So if we have a look at his form, obviously he's playing really well at the moment. But yeah, we can see there an average rating of 5.4. Been doing okay there. That 9.2 is basically carrying his form at the moment. But yeah, if we scroll down a little bit, there was times before these last kind of 20 matches where he just really wasn't performing that well at all. So I basically kicked him out of the team and I brought in this guy whose form was good. And as you can see there, he didn't play badly at all for us. So although he's not really got good current ability and his attributes aren't looking that good, it's always definitely worth putting a player in whose form's really good. And yeah, like I said, you'd be very surprised about it. Another good thing is just to obviously have a look at your tactics. Now, if you're, conceding too many goals or things like that, then you really do just need to address and have a real good look at your tactics. Now, if anybody's seen this save file before, they'll be quite familiar with the tactics that I play in this team. I quite like just going for the rigid fluidity. I think that gives you quite good structure, especially if you're playing with back five such as this. So yeah, you've got your holding midfielder and your back four. I think if you've got the fluidity just on rigid, I think that's a very good thing to do, and it'll kind of make you a bit more hardy at the back, if you like. Now if we look recently, obviously when I first took over this team, they've got a lot of young players, but just recently I'll show you how many clean sheets I've been getting. So got a clean sheet there, another one there, and we went on a massive run of like lots and lots of clean sheets. Now it's taken quite a while for us to kind of get a lot more solid at the back, and obviously in this particular save file, I'm just in the first season, so it's very early days, but I like to just build my team around having like a really good defence. I think it will help you just so much. And if you think about real life, someone like Mourinho, you'll notice that he very rarely ever changes his defence. Now he'll always stick predominantly with the same goalkeeper, and his back four always seems to be, say, John Terry, Gary Cahill, Ivanovic, and obviously Aspilicueta at the back at the moment. Obviously when making this video, that's the sort of normal back four that he's usually sticking with, and you can see a manager like Mourinho, who knows how to win, which is obviously the title of this video, he always tends to stick with the same kind of back four, just to have that real solid foundation at the back. And you'll notice as well that he'll always play a player like Matic as well, just in like that holding role in the just in front of the defence, just to like make it even more solid, and just to make it a lot more solid. And basically I've won a lot of kind of titles and things like that on Football Manager, where my defence has been quite good. Now, at the moment, obviously, like I said, it's the first season, so I've not got the defence how I want it at all at the moment. But in 22 games, I've conceded 22 goals, so that's 1 goal a game. And it's, yeah, obviously very, very simple philosophy in football. If you're scoring more than you're conceding, as long as results are going your way, yeah, you should be winning basically. If you're keeping clean sheets, you're going to be putting points on the board basically. Now, obviously, you need to be scoring goals yourself. So if I have a look at this team, I've got a nice balance here. So as you can see there, we were third best in the clean sheets department. In the goals against department, and we're third best in the goals scored. So this team is starting to progress quite nicely. Kind of how I'm looking to set them up, just to kind of keep winning and things like that. So that looks at the form, kind of like how to select players. Obviously, always have a look at morale. If a player's on really poor morale, just consider dropping him. I sometimes actually just look to select my squad just against morale. So say like here, I'll select morale, and then what I'll do, I'll have a look at form. Now, if a guy's fit, he's got good morale, got good form, he'd be really, really good high candidate to be in my starting 11. Obviously, I'm going on really, really good run of form at the moment, so a lot of my players do have very high morale, and that just keeps the wins and the momentum going. So if I go back to my fixtures again, you can see there that I've not actually lost a game since, in about 4 months nearly. So yeah, it's been ages and ages since I've actually lost a game. And that's really all to do with just making sure the morale's good, making sure form's good on every player, things like that. So that's really good. I always certainly recommend as well, if a player's played well, like make sure you're always doing private chats with every single player in your squad. I honestly cannot sort of speak enough about private chats. So just go to performance. You've got it all here really. So if someone does play badly, you can criticise the last game and tell them, they have to start putting the ball in the back of the net, or they have to play better, etc. Or obviously you can praise them, just tell them they were superb up front if they scored lots of goals. Now I tend to really only do this if someone's got an average rating of say like over about 8, kind of praise them, because if you start praising them too much, then certain players, especially if this guy's got a really, really good kind of personality, is professional and media friendly, so I could praise this guy as much as I want and he'll be happy all the time. His morale will keep going up, etc. So this guy's absolutely perfect. But if you had someone who's outspoken or things like that, then whatever you say to them after a while, they're going to get a bit outspoken basically, and they're basically going to be saying to you, look, I don't really care what you think. So not interested in the slightest. But yeah, just make sure if someone's on a good run of form, just tell them they're playing well. If someone's not playing that well, now I may consider, if you're really, really stuck for players and you do have to play someone in your starting 11, say if I, a couple of my strikers were injured and I had to play this guy, what I'd be doing, I'd be clicking on the player, I'd be going into private chat, performance, and then I'll go criticise recent form, and then I'd say to him, I know you haven't been scoring many recently, but I have every faith that you'll get back to scoring ways. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to press that, and as you can see there, it hasn't actually improved his morale there, but he's really, really thankful that I've actually said that to him. And because his morale is actually on very good already, if it was say on like good or average or something, it would actually improve his morale. But because it's quite high anyway, it's not going to improve it a lot. But just doing like little things like that to your players that are actually playing, quite bad for me. Don't kind of like over criticize players. I'd always tend to, kind of tell them that you believe in them rather than telling them that they're awful. I tend to give them a bit of a kick up the arse, like within game time, if you like. So if it gets to half time and someone's playing absolutely awful, then what I'd do at half time, I'd go assertive on that player and just tell him that I'm not happy with how he's playing. And you'll be surprised that that can give a player like a morale boost, and it can also sort of, you know, basically make them play better. And you'd hope in the second half. Obviously, what you can do, if someone has played really, really badly, then what I'd be looking to do is say to them, like after the game, you can still go into the private chat again, and what I'd be doing is criticising their last game. So, like this guy's not played that well recently, Narsing. So what I'm going to be doing is go in private chat, performance, criticise recent performance. I know you haven't scored that much recently, but I have every faith that you will get back to scoring ways. I'm going to press that. And again, this guy, he's very thankful with your support, hopefully I'll start banging him in soon. So now this guy, again, he was on very good morale already, so it's not particularly going to have too much of an effect, but he's happy that I've done that. And if you're on a really bad run of form, just make sure you keep doing the private chats. So now you can see these two guys, pleased with how the previous chat went. With myself, and again with this guy, pleased with how the previous chat went. So you can see both them players are really, really happy with me at the moment, which I can't really ask for too much more. I'm going to just try it on this guy because he's got good. I've not been playing him too much. So because he's not been playing for me at all, I can't say anything to him because I can't kind of criticise him if he's not been playing. So he's not played for me at all, this guy. I just maybe have a quick look at this guy, just see if I can have a private chat with this guy, just so I can show you. No, unfortunately that one's not either. Unfortunately I can't show you guys at the moment, but you'll have to take my word for it. If someone's playing quite a few games and their form is dipping, just go for the private chats and you can't go wrong. Basically just try and kind of just tailor your tactics as well if you want to win. Obviously, if you're up against a team that's not as good as you, so if you're the much stronger team, what I've been doing recently to get on this run of form, to not losing for 4 months. What I've been doing in every single game, I've been telling the players calmly that I have faith that they can win the game. So I'll say to them that I expect to win. And then what you can do on every single for each position, you can tell them for each player calmly that you have faith that they're going to win the game. So you're saying I expect to win, and then on the flip side, what you're saying to them is, I've got faith that you can do this and you are going to win this game. And as you can see here, I've not lost for 4 months. I've got a really, really young squad at the moment. I'm obviously first in the league at the moment, about halfway through the season, but you can see it's going really, really well. Now this team, so if I go to information, media predictions 4th, so we're expected to still finish quite high in the league. Away from 4th at the moment, we're quite a number of points away from 4th at the moment, so I think just with a little bit of morale and kind of telling the players you've got faith in them, you'll be surprised how the results start stacking up. Now, I just mentioned there if you're the stronger team, if you're the weaker team, now what I'd be doing is I'd be having a calm chat with them at the beginning of the game, and I'd say to them, basically, there's no pressure on you. You're underdogs, so we're not expected to get a win in this game. And what you'll tend to find, that will actually relax the players. Now, once the players are relaxed, what you can do is go to each individual position again. And I do this for every single game, regardless if we're the favourites or underdogs or whatever. I'll always go into every single position, then I'll click down and I'll go for calm. And I always tell the players that you've got faith in them. Like I've shown here, their morale will constantly be pretty good, or it's a really good way to kind of improve morale. Obviously, if morale's good, they're going to play better, their form will increase. If form's increase and they're playing well, if they're playing well, you're going to be winning matches. So I really cannot stress the importance of morale in Football Manager. It's just so important. Like I said, sometimes I purely do just pick my team based upon morale and form. regardless of even looking at ability. I think if someone's on good, good morale and good form, then I'll just pick them. All these players in my team at the moment, I'm happy to pick them. If I'm not happy to pick them, then they would be going out on loan. So yeah, sometimes you're kind of forced to play players that you don't necessarily want to pick, and things might not work out exactly how you'd expect it to. But say this 2-star guy, a lot of people wouldn't even think of kind of giving him any game time at all. But as you can see here, like 6.92 average rating. Can't grumble with that at all, really. Yeah, he's a young guy, and obviously the best way to improve young players as well is to just play them as much as possible. So I'm going to end this video here, guys. I think I've kind of spoken quite a lot just about the type of things that I do to kind of look to win as many games as I can on Football Manager. Obviously, there's no kind of hard and fast rule, but there's certain things that you can do to set up in place just to make sure you do give yourself kind of every single chance of winning. I do sort of look on the Football Manager forums, and every so often I see quite a lot of people saying, I'm playing as blah 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 team, and I can't win any games at all. So yeah, these are the type of things that I think people should be looking at. Just trying to, all the things I've discussed, basically, just trying to have a look at them type of things and just seeing if that will help improve form and morale, and then hopefully get you guys winning as many games as possible. I'd like to hear some of the things that you guys try and do to win as many games as possible. And yeah, if you do have any comments, I'd like to hear them about this. Be interesting. I'm pretty sure everybody's got kind of different things that they do to try and help them win games and things like that. But yeah, I'd love to hear your comments. If you do like this video, please do subscribe. I'm going to try and do some more videos like this, just where I kind of give my opinion or kind of show you guys the type of things that I try and do on Football Manager, just to hopefully some of you guys would have found this sort of helpful as well. So yeah, please do hit that like button, and please hit that subscribe button, and yeah, we'll catch you soon, guys, for some more videos.